This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of 12 Minutes with Berc. I'm your host, Berc, and today we are going to dive into one of the most critical cognitive skills, analytical thinking. Most of you are supposed to read WEF's recent report that's published a couple of weeks ago, and over there, we are all realized that cognitive skills cannot be replaceable by generative AI. And we are all aware of that generative AI and AI will replace most of our daily tasks and most of our current skills and the capabilities in our upcoming future. But cognitive skills will stay over there because they are irreplaceable. So let's talk about today analytical thinking. If I quickly explain analytical thinking, which is process of breaking down complex problems into smaller parts to better understand. It involves evaluating data, identifying patterns, and drawing logical conclusions to make informed decisions. In my opinion also, analytical thinking empowers humankind to ask right questions. So today I'm excited to welcome Tuğba Fridolaş Efendigil talking about the critical thinking core skills. Tuğba will bring over a decade of expertise and experience in research and data analytics. With a PhD from Yıldız Technical University, experience as a research scientist at MIT, and now serving as an assistant professor at Boston University, she is renowned for delivering high-impact innovative solutions powered by AI and ML. And I'm very thrilled to join her to the 12 Minutes with Berc. Tuğba, welcome. Our 12 minutes started.
Hi, Berc. Thanks for this great introduction and thanks for having me on your podcast.
Let's directly jump into analytical thinking. In your opinion, why is analytical thinking so important in today's data-driven world?
I think this is an excellent question to open this conversation because actually I should say that it has been a critical skill throughout the human history. So it is not a new thing. Because successfully being alive in the past and today mostly depends on this skill. So, of course, today it's a different world and its importance has evolved and become more pronounced in this modern world, modern age. And of course, there are lots of reasons for this because today problems are more global and large scale. We are talking about climate change, renewable energy, agricultural challenges, economic inequality, technology, ethics, and fairness. So to navigate all these issues, we need higher level of analysis. And another aspect is analytical thinking matters more than ever today because the world is more data-driven, as you mentioned, and we are dealing with vast amounts of information named as big data. So we have large size of data, we have data complexity, a new challenge has popped up. So right now we are dealing with misleading information. So we need to distinguish between reliable and unreliable data coming out of various sources, and we need to draw meaningful insights out of these sources. And additionally, I want to add one more thing here. As more routine tasks are automated, the need for analytical thinking grows, especially in areas like technology, business, and science. So this skill helps people integrate knowledge from different areas to come up with creative solutions and solve complex problems. So these are actually three main things that we can talk about the importance of analytical thinking.
That's amazing summary. And I would like to remind that, our main listeners are the Generation Z. And before I ask my second questions, I would like to also refer one of the recent articles that I read. And listeners will be able to find it in the podcast notes section. The research mentions that the more we use the generative AI GPTs, the less we are able to utilize our cortex. That means the more we use AI as humankind, the more we are getting, I don't want to say it, but stupid. So all these aspects, how can Generation Z build up their analytical thinking skills in every day?
Actually, Gen Z is already in a great position because they are digital natives. So as you said, they were born in the data world. They grew with internet, social media, smartphones. So it's great that they know how to use technology and how to easily learn about new technology because they are also independent learners. But here the key is to move from a passive role of consuming information to an active role of engagement. So the first and most important practice would be constantly asking the questions, asking why and how. So it could be about anything. It could be about a news article, a social media post, a work project. So the main theme here is not accepting everything as is. Why is this happening? How does it work? What are the underlying factors? This habit will train the brain to think critically. I also recommend living like a Renaissance person, like reading widely across disciplines like science, art, history, philosophy, and technology, reviewing different perspectives, and developing yourself as fully as possible, I think would be prioritized. I mean, it should be prioritized by Gen Z. And besides this, of course, people around you is very important. You need to be with the ones who you can challenge with your thinking, who you can hear different perspectives. So it will force you to refine your ideas and see new angles. So I believe actually analytical thinking is sort of a muscle that you can build.
So let you consider your career, all the journey. Tell us a point where you really felt that analytical thinking really made a difference in your life.
Absolutely. My current research focuses on digital supply chains and specifically on supply chain traceability and risk management. So this is a very new path for my research, my own research. So it is kind of a breakthrough decision for me because this happened as a result of having an issue in one of my research projects that I was involved in a few years ago. The project was about redesigning inventory for a multinational CPG company dealing with global sourcing. But the issue was this company imposed strict restrictions on data sharing due to the confidentiality. So this limited data seemed impossible for us to proceed with our modeling. And we couldn't actually figure out how to approach modeling this data, how to get the quality outcomes. And it was so frustrating. And then we decided to take a step back and try to reframe the challenge. So as a part of analytical thinking, we did the same thing. We broke our research question into actionable steps and re-examined the data from different angles. So this process revealed a hidden variable that we hadn't initially considered. Once we identified it, everything was more clear, and we were able to refine our approach, and the results made more sense. So this approach transformed my research from inventory system design to the field of supply chain traceability. In my teaching, I also encourage my students to ask the right questions rather than only focus on getting answers. And because through this way, an obstacle can turn into an opportunity, as I experienced before.
So, I would like to bring the subject from the point of the creativity and the teamwork. While if we think the analytical thinking, the first perception that we might have for these core skills that it is very data driven. So it's very fact and data driven, but it should be also cultivated with the creativity. Considering this aspect, how do you mix analytical thinking with the creativity and the teamwork to tackle tough challenges?
This is a great question, Bart. Analytical thinking will act like the backbone of the problem solving, but it will be powerful when you integrate it with creativity and collaboration. Since creativity allows you to see new connections and possibilities, and collaboration brings diverse perspectives to the table. And as I mentioned earlier, in today's world, the problems are on large scales. So innovative solutions will not come through one problem solver. We need multifaceted, sustainable solutions. So collaboration is needed for practical and quick actions.
Over here, I am totally in line with your opinion because, if I go back to my daily life as a seasoned management consultant, I rely on analytical thinking a lot, specifically to break down complex business problems and the challenges that we are assigned to tackle our clients and the customers. So over here, these skills help us to underline the issues and extract actionable insights from data, not only from data, but also putting some credibility to make recommendations are grounded with the reality. So your opinion are very eye-opening. So another question that I wanted to open the conversation, linking with the Generation Z, that I would like to hear your advice specifically to give Generation Z on using analytical thinking to stay very competitive in this fast-changing world. As you know, right now they are talking that there are more than 600 different projects similar with the DeepSeek. ChatGPT is over there, and other companies are planning to initiate research analyst level GPTs. Under these circumstances, how can we give a clear advice to Generation Z on analytical thinking?
You're right. So I think the main point would be seeing what others don't. So my advice to Gen Z professionals would be, of course, staying curious because, as you said, everything is changing faster than ever. And the only way to stay ahead is to keep learning. And curiosity is the fuel for discovering this. And the second advice would be about communication, because today we have tons of data, lots of modeling techniques, but they are meaningless without context. And in the near future, machines, these chat GPTs, all this technology will perform many tasks perfectly. So therefore, Gen Z should develop the ability to interpret results in a way that resonates with people and to convey the quality outcomes to others. I think this is the most important skill for Gen Z professionals. The next advice would be collaborating across disciplines. So you should find people, you should work people from diverse backgrounds, engineers, designers, marketers, artists, for example. And the last one would be learning tools and technology required for their fields. And I believe actually this is the most easy step for Gen Z because as we talked before, they are already digital natives. So I believe Gen Z will make this easily. But the previous three advices, I think they are important for their career and their rest of the life.
Then maybe I can add one more statement on top of yours, Tuva. It is imperative and very important for the Generation Z, maybe not only Generation Z, Generation Y, Generation X, baby boomers, to focus on their cognitive skills because we know that it's not going to be replaceable until the time that we are aware of it business soon. So thank you, Tuba. Our 12 minutes ended.
Thank you for the invite. I really enjoyed the discussion and appreciate the chance to contribute, Berc.
We have hosted Tuba today talking about analytical thinking. Thank you for tuning to 12 Minutes with Berc. Stay tuned for our next episode. This podcast is brought to you by One Network and Vino, platforms dedicated to fostering innovation and excellence in business. See you next time on 12 Minutes with Berc.